not too long after getting hired at Graff was setting the Meya Prosperity 2, the 41.69 carat D flawless. It's about a $10 million stone. So again, my name is Ian Barnard. I'm a diamond setter and I guess now content creator here in Oxford, UK. I'm originally from the west coast of Canada, a small town called Courtenay. I used to be in a completely different career. I used to build oil and gas refineries in northern Canada. I did that for almost 10 years. I had a little company contracting up there and I got sick of it. I got sick of the cold winters, minus 45, minus 50 Celsius. So yeah, it's just I needed something on the side. I really enjoyed it when I first got into it, and then the longer I was in it, the less I was enjoying it, because the less I got to work with my hands as you sort of move up the ladder. So I started working with my hands again. I got into jewelry making. I got into wax carving originally. I bought myself a little starter set, and it was kind of something I was doing on the side, carving up little rings. I just caught some inspiration on the internet, Instagram, something like that, and I was like, I think I might like to try my hand at that. I never ended up really taking it too far until I met my wife, who had done some courses of the same thing, really, wax carving and casting, and she kind of pushed me to pick it back up, and I did, and eventually I wanted to make her an engagement ring, and I came up with a design that I really liked, and I went around. We were living in Prague at the time, and I went around to a lot of the local jewelers trying to find somebody who would make my design, which was based off of a design that she had originally made in silver, and told me she wanted a stone on top. So I was like, okay, this is what it's got to be. I was like, I'm sure it can be done, and everyone said it couldn't. Well, whether or not they said it couldn't, they said they wouldn't. So eventually I was like, okay, well, I'll just figure this out. So I drew it in CAD, figured that out myself on SketchUp, got it printed and cast, and I set the stone myself, and it stayed in. So for a while, I've reset it, I've remade it now, so it's done properly, luckily. But yeah, from there I was hooked. I taught myself castle setting so that I could make my brother's wife's rings, and from there it was like I was like, I'm in. I don't even want to do the rest of it now. I just want to set. I found these courses overseas, and I wound up in Russia going to jewelry school in St. Petersburg for micropave, and then after that I ended up in Antwerp, Belgium with Alexander Sidorov. I did the 3-month program there, which was more micropave and a little bit of other more rounded work, and right out of that I got hired by Graff. Not too long after getting hired at Graff was setting the Meya Prosperity 2, the 41.69 carat D flawless. It's about a $10 million stone. I stopped taking pictures of anything less than 10 carat. I know that sounds ridiculous, but we were setting, like, maybe I was doing 2 or 3 10 carat plus a week at one point. And so were a lot of the other guys. Like, it was crazy. This goes back to when I was very young. I always wanted to work for myself. I think I had that in the back of my mind, that I would always do that. And I don't think it was sort of an entrepreneurial spirit in that, like, oh, I want to build something amazing. It was more just, I want freedom. And now with 3 young children, more than ever, I realize how important that freedom is. At the time when I wanted to get into it, the reason that I went the route that I did was more out of necessity. So obviously the apprenticeship route feels like it's the traditional route, but obviously with apprenticeships come the low salaries, the low wages, and I knew if I was going to be coming to UK, which was our plan at the time, that there was no way I was going to be able to afford to bring my family here. I guess, I was fortunate enough that my previous career afforded me the ability to go to these courses and prepare myself to sort of enter at a better level with skills that were of value at the time. I mean, I know not many people might be able to go to Russia and Belgium and then come back, but I certainly believe that you need to have more to offer now. if you want to get taught. Because coming in with absolutely no skills and thinking you're going to get paid, you might, but I think it's less and less. There's just not many people who are inclined to do it anymore.